The UFC landed down in China and put on a pretty stellar event, if I can say so myself. The main event.
Was that their first event in China?
It was the first event in Beijing. But
okay.
I think they were in Macau before and a few other places.
Someone knows their China.
I mean, listen, you got to do your research when you're a white belt. You just have to. What do you want me to be, a novice with no belt?
No, I don't want that.
You want me to wear a belt.
I want you to wear a belt.
And I deserve that one belt. Curtis Blaydes, he lost again to Francis Ngannou.
I know.
And again, he got knocked out. Well, this time it was a true knockout as opposed to the ref bailing him out there. But where do we go from here? He talked a big game for what little he talks.
It's a big reminder that Francis Ngannou has a different level of power when it comes to striking.
Yes.
I think that was lost on us a little bit just because of the fact that Francis has suffered 2 back-to-back losses, and so you start to forget a little bit about what this boy does.
Yeah.
What this boy does is put his hands on people and make them go to sleep.
Yes.
The punch that he landed on Curtis Blaydes, I was watching that fight. I swear Curtis Blaydes largely blocked that punch.
Yeah.
And still, just the momentum of the fist coming at the side of his head, it was enough to knock him out. So Francis is a scary dude. Great win for him, but yeah.
And that's the operative word, is knocking him out. Because I've read a lot of publications and I've heard what Blaydes was saying about, getting up pretty quick and he was ready to go. But that boy face planted after that right hook.
Yeah.
And I thought the fight could have been stopped even earlier. So I think you gotta clearly give Francis a victory. And to be quite honest, I'm happy for him. Because I don't know if you white belts watched our previous video, but I was actually thinking that Curtis was going to win that fight.
You were doing a little more than thinking.
I said it a few times. I said he's gonna take him down, he's gonna have his way with him. Curtis learned from this first fight in the UFC and losing to him. So I thought maybe he would kind of get back on the horse and really right that wrong. He didn't. Francis shows he's relevant, and I'm happy for Francis. Because it kind of reminds you a little bit of Anthony Pettis.
Yeah.
When you're on top of the world, you're on Wheaties boxes, everybody's anointing you the best. You sign a body armor contract with Kobe Bryant, and all of a sudden you lose 3 and you're potentially on your way out.
Yeah.
And that's scary.
That's literally what the consequence could have been. I mean, they could have very well, I doubt it, but they could have very well said Ngannou, that's 3 losses in a row. You're out of here, which is just a crazy fall from obviously the glory that he had last year. So happy for my man. Obviously, he's African, I'm African, so I got to root for him from that standpoint.
You have to cheer for him.
Yeah, super happy that he got the victory.
Moving forward though now.
Should we move forward?
Because I think we've got to move forward a little bit because that's what MMA journalists always do. You talk about the next fight.
Yeah.
Where do we take him from here? Because I'm not ready, obviously, to give him a title shot. I think we got to slow down there.
I think you're right on that. There's no reason to rush it quite that aggressively this time around. I know in one of the fights, was it the co-main event, Alistair Overeem?
Yep. Knocked out a newcomer fighter.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I know Alistair's obviously been itching to get that fight back.
Yes.
I'm not mad at the road to the belt for Ngannou basically being another rematch.
Okay.
So we give him Alistair. If he can get past him, then maybe he can get the Stipe rematch.
Right.
And then he's there for the belt. So I kind of like this rematch model that we're using. Even though I didn't really like it last week. I'm like, well, if he's going to get the rematches, let's just run them all back.
And listen, he went through a lot of people in a short stint too, so there's not that many on the list that he hasn't fought. I still want him to fight some new blood. I still want to see, what he can do with other guys that are climbing up.
Okay.
For me, guys that come to mind are Tai Tuivasa. I like that one. I still want him to kind of face Volkov, even though Volkov lost against Black Beast.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, he did have his way for 4 minutes and 50 seconds of that fight.
True.
And for the hardcores, he potentially could have won that fight. I do think that Ngannou takes out Volkov pretty quickly, and that doesn't make me mad, because when you're talking about marketing power, obviously, there's no comparison there,
it's not even close.
You can't really get behind Volkov to fight for the belt next. I still think there's some exciting matchups for him.
Well, Tuivasa has that matchup with JDS coming up.
Yes.
And I know even JDS has basically been, I think they tried to make that fight before. I could be completely wrong here, but I think they tried to make that JDS and Ngannou fight at one point as well. So whoever wins that fight, maybe that's the logical outcome that comes next. I like the Volkov call as well. Either way, let's get this boy back in there soon, because he took 0 damage in that fight. He looks fresh to me, ready to go. Let that boy
The hype is back. The Predator, Francis Ngannou, welcome back to the UFC heavyweight division. Who do you white belts think he should face next? Let us know in the comments below. As always,